All right, so got my little tea mesh thingy, and then I've got Fusion teas, Blue Eyes Hibiscus Infusion. So I'm gonna go ahead and scoop some of that into here. So I basically just open the thing up. I want to get a container to store this stuff in to try and keep it fresh. But so I just grab a little spoon kind of full here, and I just kind of fill the chamber here. It smells so good every time I open the bag. It just smells so good. It gets me so excited. So I've got the water boiling right now, and I kind of try to get not huge spoonfuls so that it doesn't overflow, but I try to get as much as I can in there. I do have two of these things, so sometimes I do a double dose, but usually you don't even need to be honest. Okay, so then this just, like, I've got to lock it in. There we go. So now that's ready to roll. On to the next step. Okay, so I've got this mason jar set up, and then I just take this little thing. I got a light behind because I think that it's going to be pretty cool. So I'm trying to find a good view. Here we go. Okay, so the water is done boiling, and my kitty is hungry, and so I'm just gonna uh-oh. Let's try to change things up here. So anyways, I usually like to just kind of watch the color like seep out. So maybe we'll just let that sit for a second. Okay, we're about 10 minutes later. I like to do it 10-minute steep. All right, let's go ahead and just swap things in. Nice. All right, well, let's go. Let's have a cup. Okay, so probably not too much to really even talk about here. And I'm kind of hidden behind the computer, but we've got this hibiscus tea. So this is the Blue Eyes tea from Fusion Teas, and I love it. This is I got three teas. This is the Blue Eyes, so the hibiscus tea. I got a yoga tea, and then I got a knockout sleep tea. And I'm just kind of getting into stuff, so I'm still learning, but it's awesome. I used to get the plastic or the bags, and then there was microplastics in there, or even if there weren't, it was just like a good amount of waste and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, let's kind of change things up. And so then I got the loose leaf tea, and I got those mesh things, and it's just like, wow, man, that changed the tea game for sure. It's like not even close to the same experience. And so this particular tea has made an impact on my life experience. Ooh, it's pretty warm. But so one thing that I've noticed with this tea is that it's for circulation, and it seems like it's very effective, actually. So I'll kind of drink a cup of this tea, and whatever I'm about to say might be able to be explained away, or there's going to be something, but this is an experience that happens on repeat, and it's interesting. So if you're curious, grab some of the either from this kind or just any other type of hibiscus tea, and check it out and see. But again, it may matter the specific kind, so I can vouch that I've had good experience with this kind. And so that being said, it's like I drink it, and after I've drank it, I'll get pretty thirsty. And I'm into working out, and I take supplements for circulation, and that's, to try to get a pump in the gym. And so then what I was even doing is I was like, okay, this seems to actually stimulate that circulation. So I was even making a cup of tea and maybe saving some, and then I would mix it in with my pre-workout. And I get a crazy pump. The circulation is wild. And so even if I don't go to the gym, and maybe if I don't take a pre-workout, I can just kind of drink this tea and do yoga, even though there's yoga tea. But I do yoga, and the circulation is wild. It's crazy. I also do a sauna. I've got a sauna right there, actually. And this is all functional stuff. Everything is pretty functional. That's kind of the idea behind trying all this stuff out, is like seeing what actually works for me. What do I notice that makes an impact for myself? I'm not sure if I listen to everyone else, so let's just try it out, and in an intelligent way. So that's what I try to do. And so anyways, I'll do the tea and a couple other supplements. So it's like a synergistic approach. And niacin with flush is another one. But independently, I can kind of feel these. But also with the niacin, I can tell when that's kind of kicking in with the circulation. And this was similar to that. So it's one of those things where it's like, okay, that one, this one. It's like, oh, those kind of both providing some sort of effect that I'm able to notice. And then I merge them together and use both of them. And you get some interesting flush results. It's almost like a detox, to the point where like, whoa, we're cleaning some stuff out. I'm kind of rambling at this point, but that's an idea. This isn't just about this tea. It's kind of how I use this tea and teas in general, and just why does someone drink tea? Well, if you're just drinking tea for a pleasant drink, this is good. But if you want to, be like, okay, well, let's go a little deeper. There's a whole lot more. Tea is not just something that tastes good. It's like, and that trickles down into everything. Everything, is not just for you to be like, oh, that was a great experience, and moving on. Usually there's a little more something to it. Why was that such a good experience? Well, at least for me with this tea, it's been, one, it's really delicious. And I'm not sure if there's like some physiological reason of why I think it's delicious. Like if I'm needing something that's in here, so that's why it's delicious. That's a lot of really interesting stuff, and I think there's just a little bit of all of that weirdness into everything. Anyways, I haven't really drank too much of the tea. It's pretty warm. It's not my first time. I've had this tea a lot, but dude, it's so good. I even, for a moment, at one point, I was like, let's go and put some honey in it. I've done that in the past. I've got Manuka honey, I think it's called. And so I had put some of that in here, but I was like, you know what? I actually just like it by itself. It's got like the perfect amount of sweetness, and I don't know if it's a bitter. I'm really bad at describing stuff. I have no idea. It's like someone could say something was bitter, and then I'll taste it, but my experience of that taste is a little different than theirs. So like, I'm like, oh yeah. And then, apply that to something else. And then it's like someone else will taste it and be like, what are you talking about, man? So anyways, it's just, it's not like the lightest tea. As weird as I don't know if you can use that term with tea. It's not the lightest tea. It's really good. Anyways, I might be rambling now, but that was a pretty, that was pretty an honest reflection. I actually have more to say about this tea. I could probably ramble on about this tea for quite a bit longer, because it's just super interesting. But long story short, as far as things that I do that I feel benefit me, this has been something that I really feel has been beneficial. There may be other things to do before this one, so you're not going to just, oh man, that tea is going to change my life. But like I said, a synergistic. What was that? I don't know what that was, man. That was really weird, actually, so I'm just going to leave that in the video, probably. I have no idea. Something, like, cracked as I was talking. Not that I'm like, oh, wow, but it was like, man, what the? It's kind of weird. All right, so I'm going to continue drinking this tea, and actually, check this out. I'm going to do a video about this later, but I got this sweet singing bowl here. So that's wild. That thing is super, you can feel something when you use it. So anyways.